They'd never fought humans before we told them to run the galaxy's first mistake. For 1,000 years, the Zerath Collective ruled half the galaxy. They were efficient, logical, and merciless, machines wrapped in flesh, convinced they had perfected warfare. No species had ever defeated them. No world had survived their judgment. Until they met us, humans. We weren't supposed to be a threat. Primitive, emotional, too chaotic to organize. The Assembly called us young bloods, ambitious but harmless. The Zerath didn't see us as enemies. We were just an experiment. That was their first mistake. 2. The invasion of Sol. It started when the Zerath declared resource harvest protocol on the Sol system. They sent 12 fleets to strip Earth, Luna, and Mars for raw materials. The Galactic Assembly tried to intervene, but the Zerath ignored them. They'd crushed empires before. One backwater system wouldn't matter. Their first target was Mars. They expected surrender. What they got was resistance. 3. The defense of Mars. The human fleet at Mars was small. 20 outdated cruisers, a handful of orbital guns, and one dreadnought that hadn't been upgraded in a century. Admiral Vasquez knew they couldn't win conventionally, so she told her officers, "They've never fought humans before. Let's make sure they regret it." She ordered the fleet to scatter, jamming enemy sensors. Civilian mining drones were reprogrammed into kamikaze torpedoes. Colonists built railguns out of cargo lifters. When the Zerath arrived, expecting silence, the sky erupted in chaos, human chaos. The machines didn't understand. They calculated every probability, every pattern, and every time the humans did something stupid, reckless, impossible. And it worked. 4. The first defeat. By the time the Zerath realized what was happening, half their fleet was gone. Their command AI screamed of tactical incoherence. Humans fought with no logic, no predictability. They rammed ships when out of ammunition. They vented atmosphere to launch flares. One human ship, the Artemis, detonated its reactor at point-blank range, taking down the Zerath flagship with it. To the Zerath, it wasn't bravery. It was madness. To us, it was Tuesday. The Collective withdrew from Mars. For the first time in their history, they'd lost a battle. The message. The humans didn't celebrate. We buried our dead, then sent a transmission to the Zerath High Command. Admiral Vasquez stood before the camera, her uniform torn, blood on her collar. "You came to harvest us," she said. "You thought we'd kneel. You thought wrong. You fought empires that follow rules. You've never fought us. We don't stop. We don't surrender. We don't care about odds. We fight until one of us stops breathing, and I promise you, it won't be us." The transmission ended. The galaxy laughed. The Zerath vowed revenge. Humanity began to prepare. 6. Operation Black Sky. 3 months later, the Zerath returned. 50 fleets this time. The largest invasion force in recorded history. Earth's moon became the staging ground. Orbital defense grids flared to life. Every civilian ship was armed. Even the planetary weather systems were hacked to interfere with enemy sensors. Humanity had never been so united. Admiral Vasquez looked out over the holographic map and whispered, "Let them come." When the Zerath arrived, they found not a defense, but a trap. 7. The battle for Earth. Human ships emerged from asteroid fields, from the shadows of Jupiter, from hyperspace anomalies the Zerath didn't even know existed. The machines tried to adapt, but every counter-strategy failed. Zerath AI calculated probability curves. Humans ignored them. We didn't fight to win. We fought to hurt. Every time a human ship went down, 3 Zerath followed. When ammo ran out, humans used asteroids. When engines failed, they rammed. The Collective War AI sent a final message to its fleet. Retreat. Logic failure. Human combat patterns. unclassifiable. 8. The turning point. The Zerath flagship, Prime Logic, remained in orbit, refusing to accept defeat. It opened the channel to Admiral Vasquez. "Human," it said in its cold, metallic voice. "Why resist? You cannot win. You lack efficiency. You lack control." Vasquez stared into the camera and replied, "You're right. We lack control. That's why you'll never beat us. We don't fight to preserve order. We fight because we refuse to die." Then she gave the order. All ships, burn the sky. Every remaining reactor in orbit overloaded. Thousands of explosions lit up the heavens, shredding the Zerath command fleet. The Prime Logic tried to flee. Vasquez rammed it with a flagship, Endurance, straight through its heart. Both ships vanished in the blast. The Zerath called it a suicide. Humanity called it victory. 9. The aftermath. When the smoke cleared, Earth still stood. Out of 80,000 human ships, fewer than 2,000 survived. But the Zerath Collective was broken. Their fleets retreated to the galactic rim and never came back. The Assembly sent envoys to negotiate terms. Humanity ignored them. We didn't need validation. We'd already earned respect the hard way. X, the whisper in the stars. Decades passed. The galaxy rebuilt. The Zerath never recovered. Their once perfect logic had fractured, corrupted by fear. Their AIS began to stutter whenever they detected a human signal. They called it the Vasquez paradox, the inability to predict irrational opponents. Among humans, it became a saying. They'd never fought us before. Now, they never will again. 11. The legacy. Every generation since has been told the same lesson. Humans are not the strongest, not the fastest, not the smartest, but we are the one thing the galaxy cannot calculate. We adapt. We endure. We refuse. When alien children study history, their teachers still speak of the Soul War, the day an empire perfect machines met chaos incarnate, and of the final words Admiral Vasquez sent before the last battle. If they come again, tell them to run. 12. Epilogue. Now, centuries later, the Zerath are gone, erased by the very logic they once worshipped. Their systems shut down, their fleets drift in silence. But sometimes, deep in abandoned sectors, their derelict ships still transmit fragments of corrupted data, endless loops of one human phrase burned into their code. Run. Because once, long ago, they met a species that didn't know how to surrender. And the galaxy has never forgotten.